Hawkeye Herman has been in love with the blues since he was a kid. Now he's dedicated to helping a new generation appreciate this music.
Now, one thing we've seen a lot here on Artbeat is just how generous many of the artists we feature are. They often donate their art and their talents to the world. Now, when we heard the music of Michael Hawkeye Herman, we were impressed, but it was nothing compared to how impressed we were when we discovered his dedication to sharing his music. The blues may have no greater supporter than Michael Hawkeye Herman. He's played in jazz and country bands, but nothing gets to him like the blues.
The rhythms, the stories, the fact that it's the watershed for so many other kinds of music, but mostly it's the fact that the blues catalogs the human experience.
Hawkeye's own musical experience has been pretty interesting, too. As a child in Iowa, he discovered he could pick up faraway radio stations on his transistor. He listened under the bed covers late at night.
One night I particularly remember listening to an old blues guy at that time. He was very popular, named Howlin' Wolf. Howlin' Wolf and Muddy Waters. And I jumped out of bed and I was dancing around in the dark. And when the song ended, I fell back on the bed and I was all sweaty and my heart was pounding and the lights were off. And I thought to myself, what was that? Made me jump out of bed. And it was blues music. And so within a year of that, I saved my money from the paper out and bought a guitar.
Well, the poor boy took all he had, started down the road, started down the road. All he had and started down the road. Going out in this world, God only knows that it ain't the way to get along. Well, the poor boy spent all he had, famine come in the land.
He started playing.
I was pretty much self-taught.
Then he started performing.
I liked the aspect of storytelling and using music to tell stories, and having the audience react positively was the kind of reassurance that I enjoyed.
Give you a job, boy, just feed my swine, boy, just slop my hogs.
He also started collecting old blues records, posters, and other memorabilia.
This poster is from the 1990s. This cool Papa was on my first CD, and he was one of my mentors in the Oakland blues scene. And so this is from actually a club in the Midwest in 1990. And I've always wanted to have hopefully have a home big enough to put up all my posters, and then realized I could never afford to have a home big enough to put up all my posters. I have way too many posters.
Hawkeye has performed all over the world. He says he's blessed to have been able to make a living as a musician. He's also done a bit of acting. He was the on-stage musician in the play El Paso Blue.
I started walking around the stage, bringing the characters to life by playing like this, which is a very walking technique on the guitar. And when I would come to a particular character who was frozen, not moving, I would play something like. Now I would approach the old father who was born and raised in Mexico, and I would play something like this. back to blues.
Hawkeye won a Barrymore Award for that role. He's also been inducted into the Iowa Blues Hall of Fame. But probably the award he's proudest of is the Keepin' the Blues Alive Award for Education from the Memphis Blues Foundation. Because the only thing Hawkeye likes better than performing is passing his love of the blues on to young people.
Good morning, second graders.
Good morning, Mr. Hawkeye!
Good to see you guys again. I'm so glad to be here. I want to thank Miss Ulrich and Mr. Turner. You know what I like to do first thing in the morning. I do this every day. That's why I play the blues, so that I can do this every day. It's called the boogie. Boogie.
He visits dozens of schools every year, mostly grade schools.
The youngest kids are the most impressionable, and that's where I want to hit them. I want to hit them with the history of this music when they will remember it for the rest of their lives.
And he does that with this little ditty.
That's blues, because the blues is the roots, and everything else is the fruits. Sing with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. The blues. Very good. Can you say it again? The blues. That's right. Tell me how it makes you feel. It makes me feel good from my head down to my toes. All right. More than 300,000 students in 20 states. And over that period of 30 years, yes, I can be in a town like Fort Collins, Colorado, having a coffee, and someone might come up to me and say, "You're Mr. Hawkeye. The blues had a baby and they called it rock and roll." And I'll look at them and say, "What?" And they'll be an adult with little kids. I say, "Well, you were at my school when I was in 5th grade, and now I'm a parent, but I remember that the blues had a baby and they called it rock and roll. I'm glad you're back in this school so that my kids can learn that too." I have been blessed to have an entire life in music. I've been able to be a professional musician exclusive of anything else since 1975, and one of the reasons why that happened is because old blues musicians that are dusty icons in black and white photos to the younger generation today were the people that actually took the time to teach me. They never questioned my skin color or my motives. They knew that somebody had to carry this music on. And my way of paying back African American culture that suffered the oppression and disenfranchisement that gave us this music, and the musicians who created it, is by going into schools and letting children know that the world didn't start when they were born. Run, jump down, turn around, pick a pick. Oh, Lordy, pick a pick. Oh, Lordy. Say it again. Here we go.
And who knows, maybe there's a future Hawkeye in one of those classrooms.
If you bring a musician into the classroom, all the kids enjoy it. But one or two, all of a sudden, those 1 or 2 children will say, "Wow, I think maybe I'd like to do that."
And that would be just fine by Mr. Hawkeye. Hawkeye is so busy, he travels most of the year. To keep up with him, it's best to visit his website, hawkeyeherman.com. And that's where you can also purchase his many CDs and DVDs. Thanks for watching. Here's more of Hawkeye Herman. Good night.
This is your last chance to sing along and dance. After Mr. Hawkeye leaves, it's back to the books. It's back to arithmetic. It's back to geography. It's back to reading. Oh, then we better dance like nobody is watching. Here we go. The blues had a ball. They called it rock and roll. The blues had a baby and they called it rock and roll. How's it make you feel? It makes me feel good from my head
makes you feel, here we go. It makes me feel good. From my head down to my toe. Give yourselves a big round of applause.
Support for Oregon Art Beat provided by the James F. and Marion L. Miller Foundation, the Kinsman Foundation, and viewers like you.